15-Minute Mondays, your kickstart to week high-energy 15-minute episode on the Success Blueprint. I'm your host, Daniel Greg Johnson. Let's get right into it. Hello everybody, welcome back on the Success Blueprint. It is 15-Minute Monday time. I'm glad that you are back and let's get right into it. You're solving the right problem at the wrong level. Some people spend years trying to change a behavior that was never the real problem. They make the plan, promise themselves this time will be different. And for a few days it works. Then the old pattern returns. The boundary disappears. The difficult conversation gets avoided. Then comes the familiar sentence, I just need more discipline. And sometimes you do. But often discipline gets blamed for work it was never designed to do. They may be changing behavior while their environment rewards the old pattern, building confidence while carrying a belief that visibility is dangerous, or trying to delegate while their identity is still tied to carrying everything. Change has levels. Work on the wrong one, and you can do everything right while nothing truly shifts. So what's the problem here? Personal development often starts with behavior. Wake up earlier, speak up more, stop procrastinating, communicate better, set boundaries, exercise, plan, and execute. Behavior matters. It is what people experience from us, but behavior is not the whole system. If someone keeps avoiding conflict, the issue may not be that they lack a script. It may be that the conflict feels unsafe. If a manager keeps micromanaging, for instance, the problem may not be that they do not understand delegation. They may understand it perfectly. The harder thing may be that they do not know who they are without their hands on everything. It's an identity issue. That is where people get caught. They fix the visible part while leaving the deeper driver untouched. So what's the cost and consequence of that? What currency are we bleeding? This becomes expensive, tribe. People blame themselves for failed solutions that were too shallow to reach the real issue. They say, I'm terrible with boundaries, when saying no may feel like losing love. They say, I need better time management, when being overwhelmed gives them a strange kind of importance. So they try harder at the surface. More reminders, more systems, more guilt. Then something worse happens. They stop saying this approach is not working and start saying this is just who I am. Once behavior becomes identity, people stop challenging it. They defend it. I'm just not disciplined. I'm not good with confrontation. I've always been like this. At that point, the pattern looks like personality. Let me give you a 5-step toolkit how you can get this under control and change it around. Step number 1, name the environment before you blame the person. Before asking why someone is not changing, look at where they are trying to change. Environment is the people around you, the diary, the culture, the incentives, the pressure, the noise, and the expectations that quietly shape what feels possible. A leader may want to become more strategic, but if the day is built around interruptions and reactive meetings, the environment is training them to remain tactical. Ask, what in my environment makes the old behavior easier than the new one? Then change one thing, remove one trigger, protect 1 hour, move one conversation. Step number 2, look at behavior without shame. Behavior is evidence. It shows what is actually happening, not what we hoped was happening. If you say you want trust but keep avoiding the conversation, the behavior is telling you something. If you say you want to empower your team but keep taking the work back, the behavior is telling you something. The point is not to attack yourself. Shame usually gives people more hiding. Ask, what does this behavior make sense as? Avoidance may make sense as protection. Overworking may make sense as fear of not being enough. People-pleasing may make sense as a strategy that once kept the peace. Once behavior makes sense, you are no longer wrestling some random flaw. You are listening to a signal. Step number 3, check whether the capability actually exists. Sometimes the person simply does not yet have the skill. A manager may want to coach their people but has only ever been rewarded for giving answers. A partner may want better communication but has never learned how to name emotion without blaming. A professional may want executive presence but has never been taught how to enter a room and speak at the level where decisions are made. That is not failure, that is capability. It's a capability gap. Ask, what skill would make this behavior more possible? Maybe the missing skill is negotiation, emotional regulation, delegation, asking cleaner questions, or saying one honest sentence without over-explaining afterwards. Capability is the bridge between intention and action. Without it, motivation turns into frustration. Step number 4, find the belief that keeps reinstalling the pattern. Beliefs often sit underneath behavior quietly, acting like instructions. If someone believes, if I disappoint people, I will be rejected, boundaries will feel dangerous. If a leader believes, if I am not involved, things will fall apart, delegation will feel irresponsible. If a person believes people like me do not succeed at that level, ambition will feel like pretending. But ask, what would I need to believe for this new behavior to feel natural? Then ask, what do I currently believe that makes the old behavior feel necessary? That is often where the real work begins. Step number 5, align the change with identity and purpose. Some changes require more than a new habit. They require a different sense of self. A leader who sees themselves as the rescuer will struggle to become a developer of people. A business owner who sees themselves as the engine of everything will struggle to build something that can scale without them. Finish this sentence. The kind of person I am becoming is someone who. Then prove it in one small behavior this week. Identity without evidence becomes fantasy. Identity with repeated evidence becomes a new self-story. And what's the deeper meaning here, tribe? Human beings are layered. We are shaped by environment, relationships, skills, beliefs, values, histories, identities, and the meaning we attach to our lives. When we pretend change is only about trying harder, we flatten people. We miss the architecture underneath the pattern. That is why compassion and accountability need to sit at the same table. Compassion says, this pattern came from somewhere. Accountability says, and now we have to do something with it. You need both. Only compassion can become explanation without movement. Only accountability can become pressure without understanding. Real change asks better questions. It does not only ask, what should I do? It asks, where is this coming from? What level needs attention? And what would need to shift so the new behavior becomes natural rather than forced? Let me give you unnamed examples out of recent coaching engagements. A senior manager keeps telling the team to take ownership, but every time they make a decision, he corrects it, improves it, or quietly takes it back. On the surface, it looks like delegation. Underneath, it may be identity. He does not yet know who he is if he is not the person with all the answers. A professional wants to be more visible in her career, but she stays silent in meetings where she has something worth saying. On the surface, it looks like confidence. Underneath, it may be belief. Somewhere inside, visibility may still be linked to judgment, criticism, or danger. And let me give you some short advanced strategies. Stop asking, why am I not changing? And start asking, at what level is the change being blocked? That question separates an environmental issue from a skill issue, a belief issue from an identity issue. Work from both ends. Change something practical at the behavioral level while examining the deeper belief beneath it. Practice the difficult conversation and examine why disagreement feels unsafe. And look for mismatch. If your stated goal belongs to one identity, but your daily environment rewards another, then it's simple. The old system will usually win. So let me give you your weekly challenge for immediate implementation. This week, choose one pattern you keep repeating. Not 10, 1. Write down where it happens, who is involved, what pressure is present, and what the environment rewards in that moment. Then describe the behavior clearly without drama. After that, ask what skill may be missing, what belief may be driving the behavior, what identity it protects, and what purpose would make the change worth the discomfort. The goal is to finally see the architecture of the pattern. Once you see the architecture, change becomes less mysterious. And if this episode helped you see one of your patterns differently, share it with someone fighting the same battle again and again. Subscribe to the Success Blueprint and take this episode link, share it with 3 people on Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, TikTok, wherever you communicate. I really, really would love if you would help me to share this, that we can grow the tribe and together become better at this thing called life and business. And also don't forget, Thursday, Executive 5 minutes, very powerful, and I hope I see you there. And here a special thank you to Doc Marty Mushrooms for supporting the 15-Minute Mondays. Growth takes energy, leadership takes clarity, and living well requires a body and mind that can keep up with the life you are trying to build. Head over to docmarty.com and explore his mushroom blends. And I promise you, it will be worth it. And with the discount code DAN20, DAN20, you will receive a 20% discount on your first purchase. And Tribe, I'll leave you in closing with this. Maybe the reason the change has not worked yet is not that you are broken. Maybe you have simply been working at the wrong level. You have been trying to change behavior while the beliefs stayed untouched. You have been trying to build confidence while the environment kept rewarding silence. You have been trying to lead differently while still seeing yourself through an old identity. So this week, do not only ask what needs to change, ask where the change needs to happen. That question might save you years. And I hope that you had a good time. I did. And I see you on the next 15-Minute Monday. This was Daniel Craig Johnson, your host on the Success Blueprint. With my promise, I'll be back. Take care, Tribe.